My name is Somy Mathew Mannoor, Jesuit from India. I'm the formation delegate, and it's happy to present the case study on formation, discernment in common, helping people in formation, the young religious. So I would like to begin with two examples of how concretely discernment in common could work, and a few learnings from that. So what I have experienced over the years accompanying the young people is there is a lot of energy, positivity, and there are lots of examples how discernment in common helps facilitate, especially in formation. The two cases that I would like to present, one would be where we had a lot of discussion prior to the discernment proper. So this was something of a planning for a program which was for the priests who are in formation, and how that would help them to decide about the various aspects of formation. So there are three stages, I would say, three moments of discernment. One was when the major superiors were thinking about what program would be helpful, especially what would be helpful for the spiritual input for those priests, those who are going for the tertianship. And so the major superiors talked about it and discussed, etc., and then to see how that would be. So that is what I call the first moment. And the first moment where there was a deliberations, they discerned sort of discussions and arriving at what would be the program. And then came the second moment where those who were going to be participating, they were involved. And that is where it is initially it began. It was not so much of a discernment, but there was a kind of it turned to be more of a discussion. There was a lot of back and forth, question answering, and more of a dialogue rather than it became, at moment it looked like it is a tug of war. I think that is where the discernment had to really come in, because one of the important thing in formation at this with this case is discernment is not to argue, debate about what is to be done, not to be done, but to listen. I think this is where the listening aspect was missing. And so in this second moment, after so much of talking back and forth, then it went into the third stage, what I call, where there was a proper discernment took place as to listen to what are the points, the various aspects, etc. And so sort of an evaluation of what is going on, or more what is happening in there. And then there was a space for people to listen to what is the interior movements with regard to the real what people felt about the program. And after that there was a sort of coming to a consensus, all those who were involved in decision making, and so these three stages I see the sort of a development, that one of course the planning, and then where there was no proper listening, there was lack of understanding and the openness, and then it moved to the next stage where there was much more openness, the sort of indifference to listen to one another, openness to accept as well. So this is a one point of one case that I would like to mention. The second case is or second example I would like to bring about is again a group of scholastics. It was during the pandemic that a group of scholastics who were in a retreat house, they were all, during the pandemic, they were called back to the province, and they were all housed in a place, in the retreat house. and they had some difficulties, so they wanted to have a dialogue. And this is an example where I really learned the importance of listening, and how the attentive listening and even the intentional speaking that we talk about in the spiritual conversation, how that came really to the forefront, and how that led to the real discernment process. So here there was a group of scholastics, about 10 of them I think. So they were upset, they were quite agitated initially. So I prepared them. I said, okay, let us talk as to what is happening. You share with me what is going on in your mind as to, and what is the possible decision that we can arrive at. And then each of them spoke what they felt, what was deep within, and I listened without any judgment and allowed each one to express that. After that, after each one shared, so I asked them, so what is the way forward? What are the decisions? They have two ways. They said, we want either to continue to stay there or there to move out. So this was the difficult, this was the challenge. There was various problems that were there. And then they thought for a while, and I think that was a moment where they reflected, where they were able to see what they were speaking, and actually they were able to go beyond the immediate the emotions, the agitations that were there. And then they said, this is where they felt listened to, they felt understood, and the decisions was not so important after that. So this is again another point in information when we talk about discernment. I think this is the learning that I got. When we listen carefully, and they feel that they are listened without judgment. So already a breakthrough is made. Then they move forward. And so from these two cases, two examples, what are the learnings that I pick up as and discernment in common, discernment especially those who are in formation? The first thing would be that the importance of preparing people for this session of the discernment. The importance of prayer, allowing people to get in touch with themselves. I think that is where the big challenge, often the awareness is at a very superficial level. Moving to the greater depth is one of the things. Another point, often those information tend to say that initially, as some of them said, that the discernment does not work because I didn't get what I want. So this kind of understanding of discernment, some of them have that discernment is when I get what I want, that is a good discernment. So I think this is one there where we need to be aware and prepare the people as well to the openness, a sort of coming to an indifference, that is where they are ready to listen to what the Spirit is really saying. And then maybe the third and the last point would be the importance of facilitating, that allowing people, especially in formation, to speak freely, openly, without any fear of being judged or taken, considering this in different aspects. So I would say that accompanying those information, preparing them, and to lead them gently to see where the Spirit is really at work.